Hey there, freedom fighters! This is Kunsang from SFT's Board of Directors, bringing you SFT TV. SFT TV, your source for news, information, and updates. Filling in for Kala this week, as he and the rest of the staff are in India for their second India Action Camp. So, first and foremost, the news. It's been a really busy week since His Holiness has received the Congressional Gold Medal. And it's been a really exciting, amazing time in Tibet news. But right now there's some news coming out of Tibet that's a little bit shocking. So I'm going to start with an article from today, October 24th, from the Associated Press. Tibet monastery surrounded by military amid security crackdown after Dalai Lama award. Beijing. A major Tibetan monastery has been sealed off by armed troops following an increase in security after celebrations last week over a U.S. award for the region's exiled spiritual leader, the Dalai Lama, an activist group said Wednesday. Drepung Monastery in Lhasa is still surrounded by armed troops, according to the International Campaign for Tibet, a Washington-based pro-Tibet human rights group, citing local sources and several reports. Hundreds of monks may still be inside the monastery, while others may have been detained or injured. Another monastery in the capital is also closed, the group said. So, this is quite shocking, but also not incredibly surprising coming from the Chinese government. With something like the Congressional Gold Medal, which I don't think that we realized was so significant historically and politically, and I think this is the perfect time for China to have stepped up and to made some kind of an effort to be a little nicer, or to be a little more human. But you know what? It's China, and they aren't like that. Basically, their government is awful, and this is the kind of crap that is what they're is how they showed how they feel threatened, and how they feel very upset over the Congressional the medal. And I'll continue with the article. The awarding of the U.S. Congress' highest civilian honor, bestowed by President George W. Bush on Wednesday, to the Dalai Lama was a setback to Beijing's efforts to undermine support for the spiritual leader, who they regard as a threat to the unity of China and their continued rule over the region. And again, I think for us to understand, like how it's not just America shouting out that they support Tibet. It's the United States Congress stating, we support Tibet. And not only do we support it, but we'll back it with this new legislation that has been written up by Senators Tom Lantos, Dianne Feinstein, and Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi. So, to add to insult, I guess, for the Chinese, we have this new legislation that's really amazing, really good news. So let's move on, I guess. I guess for the rest of the week, I think we'll be giving little bits and pieces of news from last week, because there's just so much. Today's news about the Congressional Gold Medal, and we want to continue with talking about the Tibetan students conference that we had that was also really incredible, and other bits and pieces I think that have come along. So we'll end with a clip from the conference, and I'll also be handing it over to Pema Yoko over in SFT London. So peace and Momo Greece.
My name is Tenzin Wangel. I am currently a student at Northeastern University School of Law. I used to be on Students for Free Tibet's board of directors, and I think my right is there, so I need to get on that. But I think the conference went really well, and it was something that everyone wanted to have for a very long time. So it's really good and materialized. It was really executed really well, and I think everyone's really impressed with the way it was done. And we learned a lot, and I think if they allow me to come next year, I'll come again.
Hey freedom fighters and revolutionaries, welcome to SFT TV UK. Sorry about the lateness of updates. We've had a few technical problems, however we're here, and I just the only thing I'm going to talk about today, just to give you a brief quick update, is that we have the UK National Conference coming up on the 10th and the 11th of November, which will be in Bristol. So if you are a part of SFT and you have a chapter in your university or a Tibet group, Tibet Society, Free Tibet, anything like that, and you're interested in learning more and working on campaigns and how to go about it, please do come down, because it'll be really, really good. We've got a lot of good workshops going on. We've got 2 trainers from New York coming over, Kathy and Kate. So yeah, and it's going to be £15 for the 2 days, which includes accommodation and food. So yeah, and if you are interested in coming down, please contact Ben at SFT. Ben at sftuk.org. He's going to be looking out for all the applications and stuff. And if you want to contact me, you can contact me at Pema, P-E-M-A, at sftuk.org. Okay, great. Next thing I'm going to leave you with, a news clip that we had for the last protest that we did on the 30th of September that I was telling you about. So just to let you know how our action went, and it went quite well. We got a bit of media press. The BBC radio came down, some other news reporters, some Taiwanese news reports or something. So yeah, anyways, have a look.
And for communists, China National Day is a day to celebrate 58 years of communism in China. But for many around the world, it is a day of mourning for their friends and family that have been killed under the communist dictatorship. We go to London now, to the Chinese embassy, where people from Tibet, East Turkestan, China and Taiwan are protesting.
We want freedom!
The cry for freedom can be heard continuously in the streets surrounding the Chinese embassy in London. People are there to say, China, enough is enough. Amongst the voices present is Rabia Kadir from Uyghur in East Turkestan. She's been persecuted and imprisoned by the Chinese Communist Party for several years.
And since 1949, China's government deceiving their own people and lying to the world and oppressing its own people. So this government should stop and should be changed to the democratic regime.
Today was also a day that the Tibetans mourned, as they sadly remember the death of a young nun that was killed last year by the Chinese military while crossing the Indian border.
It really seems to be so obvious, especially in the run-up to the Olympics, which is less than a year away now, that we should be working more together. We should be uniting voices, all supporters and all people facing persecution by the Chinese government.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week here in London, protesters are expressing their frustrations over the Chinese communist regime and its brutal dictatorship. At the end of the day, protesters were left with one question: when will the killing end? NTD TV, London.
I'm back again, working in the lab. Pass me a pen, pass me a notepad. Load up Pro Tools, lay down a track. Yep, that's another tune in the bag. I do this for my flag, red and blue stripes. 2 snow lines and the sun so bright. That's it, China, keep acting hype. But I ain't got me down without a good fight. I'ma stay here, right here, not scared, don't care. Get out to bed, cause you know that it's not fair. You're not welcome, a tiny bit. So if I was you, you might as well shift to the side. On the slide like a fly in the sky. When you turn to say bye, nobody's gonna cry. Cause we wanna see the back of you. Now shut up and dance to the interlude. It's like